You wanna play rough? Okay. Say hello to my little friend.
Ooh, family. You know who I am. This is my boy 1980 family. Hope you had a good day today. If not, you know the old adage, ask yourself why. And remember, family, happiness is an inside job. It will always be an internal affair, huh? You heard me. I got something that I need y'all to see. I'm not going to give no kind of preamble or no introduction. Just see for yourself.
Here's the key, though. Whenever I hear people talk about, the things that black people go through and all of that, I'll be like, okay, cool. You want acknowledgement? You got it. The thing that I'm curious about is, okay, so now we got acknowledgement. Now we on a foundation. What's the number? What do you want? What exactly should America give you? What does that look like? Who should it go to? What's the solution now?
Okay.
Because anybody can say what they feel. So now, when we get to a point where, okay, we all agree, you feel how you feel, what's the solution?
The number I came up with was $480,000 for each descendant of slaves. And that's per family. Also tax-free status. Next question.
So is that also the descendant, is that also including people that have a certain percentage of white in their blood and stuff too?
Yeah, we all got a percentage of white in our blood. My great-grandmother was white.
No. I'm saying, like, what if it's a white person, technically, that we consider a white person?
If they're a descendant of slaves and they could trace their people back to the 1870 census, then yeah, they can get it too.
So anybody that got black in them can get
anybody that could trace their descendancy, their lineage back to the 1870 census, and it shows that you were a black person, a Negro.
Okay, cool. So how do we pay for it now?
Who cares? How do you pay for Ukrainians to come in and go to college? You ain't asking that shit.
Well, because if you understand how money works, then somebody got to pay for it.
I understand how money works.
Okay, then why you say who cares?
I'm asking who cares.
I care.
How can you
care? And let me tell you why.
We got 40%. We got 8% inflation right now, the highest that it's been in 40 years. You're not asking about that.
I actually do a show on it every day.
Print more money and run it up.
So you want to print for your. So the way that you solve for this is to print more money.
Dude, I don't care how you pay. That's all I'm saying. The debt is still owed. It don't matter how you pay, the debt is still owed. Now you can go up with folks and figure out how to pay it and all that shit. That's not my business. All I know is
when they raise those taxes.
No, it ain't even raising taxes. You literally collapse the entire country by doing this.
Exactly. You might collapse all the colonial powers if half the niggas that was aggrieved by the colonial powers would actually get together instead of thinking they're on a higher plane than the next one.
So,
because honestly, the reparations claim really isn't big enough. But you really need Haitians, you need all the West Indians, you need the Brazilians, because really Spain, England, and France need to be sued. So, like, really want to talk about it? Yeah, it'll bankrupt the whole world, bro.
And so you think that that's the solution?
Dude, I don't give a fuck. That's what I'm saying. Because capitalism was started off of free labor. The free labor of my ancestors, not yours. Like you say, not yours. You ain't worried about it.
Well, family. Did you hear the conversation so far? You heard it with your own ears, right? Family, do me a favor and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Subscribe, family. Come on back and see me, all right? Click it. I'm going in. See, people got it conflated and twisted and convoluted. Ain't nobody don't care about getting no attention or garnish nobody's attention. We talking about a blood debt that's owed to people. And it's just that simple. Anton asked the question. The man gave him the answer. He didn't like the answer. Talking about bankrupt. Who cares? See, what it is you comfortable up in your life. And like many other people are comfortable. I'm comfortable too. But that still does not push aside the fact that these people are owed a blood debt. And it's going to be paid back one way or the other. Because I believe in you reap what you sow. That's what I believe in. And America can't stand like this for long because there's too much blood up in the soil. Huh? Did you hear me? There's too much blood in the soil, family. America can't continue to operate like this. And if you know anything about what's going on, the numbers are dropping drastically. For the people that know, you know. What's happening is the system is imploding from the inside out. Many people don't even know that. People died at an alarming rate. By 2050, they said the country is going to be a different color. That's not me. That's what statistics say. Not my words. Go look it up for yourself. But moving right along.
So, and this is my point, is because, and this speaks to a larger point, and that nobody is being realistic. Like, nobody is really presenting a solution, in my personal opinion, as to how you can actually solve for the thing that people are asking for, and they don't want something realistic. And so as a result, you get nothing.
You're presenting a solution. Why don't you?
Okay, I'm sorry, sir. Can you just give me like
not to pontificate? No, not to pontificate. Give a solution.
Cool. Well, I don't agree with you. I don't think you should get shit.
Okay.
So that's my solution. You go back to your dusty hole. You keep complaining about it. You run in the Victim Olympics, and you watch people like me that win.
Nigga,
that's the
millionaire, nigga.
Let me keep fucking winning, and you sit over there and you keep complaining in your Victim Olympics. That's my solution for you.
I'm not worried about it.
Fall back into that hole that you came from, and fuck you and your feelings. That's my solution.
There you go.
Wait.
There you go.
Now that's Tom.
JB. Hey, JB, don't watch it on. JB, don't talk for me, JB.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. So Anton,
You got your homie, JB?
no, so Anton, here's actually
You
why.
got your homie, JB?
Bro,
Yeah, that's my guy. Hold up.
Okay, if that's your homie, listen. If that's your homie, then I'm a chill out.
Anton, no, actually, I think that's
a
a
good
good
for real. Listen, we're not gonna mince words. Fuck off of that, bro.
Let me make this point. Anton, let me make this point, because that's actually one of the things I highlighted in the beginning. That's one of the things that fascinates me about Big Mike, is he's actually very successful. So I'm like, where is he coming from? Like, he's actually very successful.
Holes and all that shit. That's what I'm talking about. Dusty holes.
I'm trying to.
You used to talking to niggas a certain way, bro.
And I'm talking to you the same way right now.
Bro, that shit don't faze me. That shit like water.
And it don't. But the reality is that you just talking shit. You're not actually presenting a real solution. You talk in order to make a point. You're not necessarily talking in order to progress the conversation. And so as a result, you throw out some random fucking number that you know ain't realistic. You know it will collapse the country. You know it ain't even worth talking about because it ain't a real solution. But you do it just for the sake of saying shit, and it don't actually help anybody.
Nigga, I answered your motherfucking question. You asked me a number. You see the type of you asked me for a number. I gave you a fucking number. Now you want to turn around and use that in your argument against me? You're a fucking clown and a coon.
And a what? What's the other part?
And a coon, nigga.
You right. Yeah. I am. And I'm gonna keep running these.
Don't come back over here.
You got the real so fast.
And I'm gonna keep running these numbers up. I'm gonna keep is what I do. And you still ain't, and at the end of the day, you still ain't actually talking worth nothing. We can do all of the name calling. We can do all of that. You can call me whatever it is that you want to call me. You can say I'm in the N-word and all of that other type of stuff. The reality is that you just talking shit.
You too.
That's it. No, I actually prove.
Well, family, did you hear the exchange? And Tom Daniel asked the man the question. The man gave the answer. He didn't like his answer. The man asked Tom for a solution. And Tom's solution is he don't believe black people should get nothing. You heard it. You heard his words. Go back and replay it over and listen. He says black people shouldn't get anything, and they should crawl back into their dusty holes and stop complaining and stop running through the Victim Olympics. This is a blood debt. This is not no Victim Olympics. This is a blood debt. Everybody that gone through something, Nazi Germany, the Holocaust, them people got paid, right? You don't hear other Jews talking about they shouldn't get paid. Stop running through the Victim Olympics. They shouldn't get nothing. Do anybody hear Indians talking like that? Do anybody hear that? Do anybody hear other Asian people saying, well, Asians need to start running through the Victim Olympics. They just need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. Apparently, he don't know how everything works, and he just talking. Now, he give good advice whenever it comes to marriage, but whenever it comes to race, he is completely off center, for sure. We the only race of people that do this, to be honest with you. And I'm not gonna mince no words either. I'm not gonna make those bones about it. And Tom talk as though he has rose above blackness. Oh, but he will find out, because they have been plenty people that we can run down the list that talk just like you, and they find out the hard way. But I pray that your day never comes. You heard me? We the only people that talk like this. If you are not interested in the reparations talk, why are you trying to undermine the reparations talk? Talking about people with a percentage of whiteness, all this food. Those are white supremacist talking points, bruh. 4chan, Riddick, Stormfront, all of those websites. The exact same talking points. I'm telling you. I pay attention because I want to know what's going on around me. All right? Now, let's move right along.
By the way, I noticed Sage Talk is trying to talk. You're muted, but hold on, let me just unmute you real quick. But before Lee talks, before Mr. Lee talks, just one more thing I wanted to ask you, because I remember one of the things that you said in our conversation was, like, if they give you said this yourself, that if they were to give black people like ADOS, FBA black folks reparations, a lot of that money would end up going to these, designer brands, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, and all of that, and whatnot. So, do you think this money should be given in any, like, do you think this? Listen, this doesn't apply to me, but I'm just curious. Do you think there should be, if we're gonna say, okay, we're gonna take all this money and give it to ADOS and FBA black folks as reparations, right? Do you think there should be any conditions on it?
No.
So it doesn't. So you don't think it matters that the same group of people that y'all are saying is oppressing y'all, you're gonna then take the bread and then go and bring it back to them?
It don't matter what people do with it. I might not necessarily bring it back to them. That's not gonna be what I do. But I don't care what people do with it. The whole thing is about getting it. And see, here's the deal. Nobody's asking this about the reparations that the Japanese got. Nobody's asking this about reparations Indians get. Nobody's asking this about any other group but black people. And it's y'all niggas that's asking it. Other niggas that look like us.
Well. Here come JB. He trying to police people money. Boy, I tell you. And you notice it's the same type of Negroes that do this. You give a Negro a couple dollars, they don't want nobody else to have nothing. I'm not broke either now, so do not get it twisted. I'm not a millionaire. Don't come talking about, well, he ain't got no money, he smoke weed. No. I'm one of them ones too. One day I too will be a millionaire one day. Believe that. I'm not talking from a place of somebody to the bottom and all. Nah, we don't do that up over here, all right? Guys, Lord have mercy. JB, how you gonna police people money, man? We the only group that do this. Dr. Neely Fuller said it best. Black people need to avoid each other, talking to each other, because it's one big ball of confusion. And confusion is a weapon that's used against our people and have been used against our people in time immemorial. You see? And there is a debt owed. I don't care who come and tell me I'm a victim of Olympus. That's a bunch of foolishness, bro. That's buffoonery. Bro, you on the coon train, man. For real. And family, it's not your job to try to convince nobody. Don't try to convince nobody of anything. Let people think how they want to think, and that's fine. But we need to do like how the people did in Haiti, 1804. For those that know, you know. For those that don't know, go study it. Moving right along.
Not prepared at all for it.
Well, it's so much, I'm not sure where I can kind of step into this conversation. But if I may back my way in and come in from the reparations part of the discussion.
Please.
I will say this. The reparation is a very complicated conversation. And why I say that, because it's multi-layered. Definitely there have to be a cash component. My calculation is much bigger than Big Mike. I start the number somewhere at about 17 trillion. I have to go back to my spreadsheet and see what the actually per family calculations look like, but it's north of, I think, 2-point-something million per family, because I calculated death benefits in those compounded figures.
Right.
Reparation is a debt. A debt is owed. The broader calculations on reparation to include not just the mainland North America's slavery and the death of people that was used to build the Western empires, includes all the Caribbean nations, Central and South American nations. And that that teeters around $100 trillion. Yes, it would break white America, but who gives a shit? Because they didn't give a damn when they killed us. When I read in the Nat Turner book in 1991 that sharks became man-eaters by following the slave ships to America, my blood raged, bro. My blood raged. So I could give two shits about how white America would feel or what it would do to their empire. Out of the dust, we would build ours. Fuck them. That's my take on that.
Ooh, we spoken like a true general. Articulate to the highest level, very clear and very concise. Straight to the point. Who cares? The debt is owed, pay the debt. Because this government has enslaved and has co-signed on everything what happened. Now the government owes. Pay the people that you owe. And we're the only group of people that they haven't paid yet. So now it's time to pay us. Everybody else got paid. Nobody wasn't mincing words. They didn't have to do a study. No HR 40s and all this old foolishness. They paid the people swiftly, hastily. But now whenever it come to us, oh, y'all running into victim and everything. Oh, y'all just complain. Well, give us the money that you owe. These companies that been around for 200 or 300 years, they've been doing stealing for 199 of them. Stealing and robbing and lying and cheating. And they still around today. And they owe a debt. I'm a Christian fella, but I do not subscribe to the slave master teaching now. People call themselves Christians, but most people ain't Christians. They get on here and swear and do all this stuff. And I do not expect nobody to be perfect because there's only one perfect person that ever walked the face of the earth. But you strive for perfection, right? But the Bible even talk about you reap what you sow. If you owe a man, you pay that man. America has a debt that all the great teachers talked about. All of them talked about this, right? And I want my money. You heard me. These people will come up with all kind of excuses not to pay. We bringing it right back to your doorstep. See, it's one thing about me. I don't pray for the country get better. No, fire and brimstone. That's what I'm praying for. Fire and brimstone. Until you pay the debt, fire and brimstone. Just like in Egypt, when God brought pain, the plagues, fire and brimstone here. Huh? You heard exactly what I said. I'm praying for pain and destruction. I ain't praying for let's just come together. Give me my money. Give me my money. I don't care nothing about coming together. I want my money. Run my change. And Big Mike was absolutely right. And so was Mr.Lee. He was right as well. Because people have these studies on this thing. But I'm praying for fire and brimstone. I ain't praying for no kumbaya. It's enough for the kumbaya. Martin Luther King tried to kumbaya at first. And then he seen quickly that this here don't work. I led my people into a burning house. And whenever he finally woke up, what did they do? They killed him. Mic drop. Hit that share button, family. Bunch of coons and buffoonery. Hit that like button. Hit the cash out, family. Subscribe to my channel, family. And like I always say, tenfolds over. I do appreciate you and come back to see me now because there is more.